Good evening, Five fans, and a warm welcome to viewers at home joining us from Sunderland for this week's edition for Friday Fight Night, live and exclusive on Sky Sports HD. You now join us for our feature presentation. Please welcome firstly to the ring, Martin Power.
Martin Power getting a hostile reception. This is a fella who owes absolutely nothing to the sport of boxing. I don't think he's ever been in a dull fight. Looking to win the Lonsdale belt outright tonight and looking for revenge. Stuart Hall will have his own ideas. Martin Power, though, says tonight it's going to be his night. It'll be a different story.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your champion, Stuart Hall.
It's an entrance with a difference for Stuart Hall, the British bantamweight champion. The saxophone being played live in the ring. He says he'll be sharper. Does he think I've sat at home on my couch since my last fight against Ian Napper? I'll be miles better, and I will be the champion at the end of proceedings. Unsung, unheralded, came into the pro game at 28, now at 30, he's the champion, a proud champion, and he believes that this will be his night. He says he'll be stronger, fresher, and more powerful. Well, here's how the two fellas stand side by side. All you can see, the bigger man, the bigger reach. Has a reach advantage of 3.5 inches, 2.5 inches taller, although slightly lighter at yesterday's weigh-in. Power, in terms of experience, way ahead. Look at the round sport, 144 as against 50. He's been a pro since 2001. Stuart Hall, as I said, new to the game. And there's the odds, though. Forget the experience. Hall, a big, big favourite. 9-2 on. Power 3-1 against.
The officials appointed for this event by the British Boxing Board of Control. Your steward in charge, Fred Potter. Your medical supervisor is Dr. Hodgson. Your timekeeper is Arnold Bryson. Your judges at ringside are Richie Davies of All Hallows in Kent, Howard Foster of Doncaster, and Dave Parris of Leeds. When the action begins, the third man in the ring will be your referee from Romford, Mark Green. This contest is proudly presented to you by Frank Maloney in association with proud sponsors CYC, Southwark Medals, Sunderland Council, StanJames.com, Red Square Vodka, and BBE Britannia Boxing. And now, Five fans, live and exclusive on Sky Sports HD, Frank Maloney now presents 12 3-minute rounds of boxing for the Bantamweight Championship of Great Britain. Introducing firstly in the red corner, your challenger, wearing the blue trunks. He fights out of Camden Town and weighs in at 8 stone, 5 pounds and 8 ounces. He enters the ring with 21 wins, 9 of those wins coming by way of knockout against 5 defeats. He enters the ring tonight also as your former British Bantamweight champion, tonight bidding to win the Lonsdale belt outright. Please welcome Martin Too Much Power. And his opponents across the ring in the blue corner, wearing these silver trunks. He fights out of Darlington and weighs in at 8 stone, 4 pounds. He enters with an unbeaten 8-win record. 4 of those wins coming by way of knockout against a single draw. Tonight, making a first defense, allow me to introduce your reigning British bantamweight champion, Stuey Hall. This is 12 3-minute rounds. Boxers, please.
Well, I spoke to you both in the dressing rooms. You know exactly what you've got to do. Remember, protect yourselves at all times. Shake hands, gentlemen. Good luck to both of you.
So I think the key here for this fight, Stuey Hall champion. How much has he grown in stature as a boxer? Martin Power in the other corner. He was a proud champion once. How much has he got left in the tank? And has he got enough to spring what would be an upset, a big upset, and get the revenge for that defeat last year when Hall stopped him? Whatever happens, I think you can guarantee that it's going to be entertaining stuff.
Well, Martin Power is never in a bad fight, that's for sure. He's had a long, hard career. He gets one probably last chance at glory, and nobody will begrudge him that. He's been a great servant. Lonsdale belt on the line for him. But at 30, after a hard career, does he have the sharpness? You have to look upon Hall, who is the same age as an up-and-comer, far fresher. Great match, but a tough one for Power, you would think. He's been out-jabbed at the moment.
What you can say about Power is that his last fight, he really kept his career going. It was on the line against Matthew Edmonds in Newport. There he got what was a pretty impressive victory, stopping his man in 5 rounds. He's fought his way into a position where he genuinely deserves his chance. And Stuey Hall, as Glenn was saying before the fight began, he really is still something of a novice, and he was behind against Ian Napper on the judges' scorecards when he got that victory. And Power, remember, okay, you have to go back a bit, but he has got a victory against Napper on the record.
I think it's a massive plus when you're defending your title against a man you already hold a stoppage victory over. Hall is looking pretty confident. He's prepared to come forward, take the plate away from Power.
Well, we thought it was going to be all action, this contest, and the first 90 seconds or so suggests that, and Hall is able to find his target. Last time he won pretty much at range against Power. This time he says he's going to mix it up. Let's see.
Well, if what he did last time worked, I don't see why he should be changing it. Okay, we want to please the fans, that little bit macho. But in a title fight, if you can get some rounds in the bank without getting too much involved, then you want to do that. His jab's working very well though. Power's head a little bit stationary.
Power said that he punched himself out last time and underestimated his man. Well, Hall is showing again in the early stages here accuracy and snap in that work, and he's establishing himself physically.
I reckon the first time I saw Hall that it wouldn't be too long before he would be chasing titles. He arrived a little bit sooner than I expected, but a long amateur career, and he's a good solid pro style, and he settled very quickly here.
He had a very good amateur record, didn't he? He never quite got the rewards, I don't think, that he felt he deserved, and he's a man on a mission to prove himself right at the top of the game, and this is strong finish to this opening round from the champion Stuey Hall. But Power, as we expected, as we just knew would be the case, is right in his face. But look at the strength of Hall as he bullies him back across the ropes in the closing seconds of a dramatic round.
In uncertainty lies the drama of life.
The US Open, Flushing Meadows. Match point. Kevin Peterson redefines the boundaries of cricket.
Peterson smacks it.
Who knows what is next? Because anything can happen in sport.
Whatever happens in sport, with all 5 Sky Sports channels in high definition, the unmissable will be just that. Sky. Believe in better.
Just take him a power jab and can't
British bantamweight title fight. Stuart Hall on the left-hand side, the shaven-headed man from Darlington. The jabs reflect the way in which he is, at the moment, for us, having the better of it, Jim.
Yeah, and they are solid jabs at that. They're not real, just little range finders. You can see they're knocking Powers head back. Positive start from the champion.
Third round in this first defence of his British title for Stuart Hall. Martin Power, remember, from Camden Town, going to try and win the prized Lonsdale belt outright if he wins this tonight.
Well, the Power camp know that Hall went off the boil a little bit in the second half of the fight against Napa. He looked to be struggling a little bit, so maybe they're thinking there's a stamina problem. Power trying to find out about that, but good response from Hall.
Well, if there is a stamina problem, then body shots like that from Hall are going to be effective. Maybe his best little spell of the contest so far.
I mean, Power can demoralise opponents because you hit them regularly with your best shots, but he still keeps coming forward, and that's what he's doing at the moment.
Stuart Hall's been sparring with Jason Booth in the run-up to this. Booth, interested spectator at ringside, due to fight Steve Molitor in September. World title here in the Northeast. Hard stuff, this.
Certainly an improvement in Power's work in this round, whether or not he's winning it, but a good right hand from Hall. But at least he's getting himself into range and getting some punches off.
Getting a bit of a rhythm going at last, Power. That's a good right hand, solid right hand from Hall. Instant response from the predominantly hometown fighter support.
Tremendous effort from Power.
He's really worked the body.
Giving everything he's got in this round. But in this heat, good stuff again from both men, but good solid left hook from Power. But Hall is the one who's prepared to step straight back up again and pick up.
Punch resistance is going to come into this as much as anything else as well. The more hard fights you've had, the more that can be eroded. Power good at this stage, a long, long way to go though. Well, he's had a good round, Martin Power. Hats off to him. He's worked the body. It's been a real tactic he's tried to hold on to, and he's had a good 3 minutes.
But you wonder how much that's taken out of the tank.
What an effort from Martin Power, right back into the fight in that third round. It was a sustained body attack, and there you see the body shots landed from Power. Hall dominating on the jab, Power on that sort of body attack.
And Power can demoralise opponents, especially over the 12-round distance, because you know no matter what you do to him, he's going to keep coming, he's going to be in your face for the 12 rounds.
Fourth round of this 12-rounder. And it's building up to be a fascinating contest. Looked as though it was going to be a good one on paper, and so far these two lads delivering. Hall, remember, the defending champion. There's the odds now. Hall a big, big favourite. 12-1 on, they reckon now. Well, Martin Power, he would say he had a pretty good third round at 12-1. Well, I wonder.
Well, Hall has to use his feet a little bit more than he did in the third round.
Doesn't want to be on the end of swinging right hands like that either.
No, he's got to use the jab as he was doing earlier. He's maybe got to initiate the attacks, because when Power is coming forward, he's much more effective.
The bookies may have got Hall as the big favourite now, but I can perceive a growing confidence in Power. It's a question of whether he can sustain it.
good body shot from Hall behind Power's elbow. Must have felt that one, bang on the ribs.
A pair of them landed heavily, didn't they?
Jab working again from Hall, just producing better quality stuff so far in this round.
Here comes Power again, though, with that body attack.
And I think those were taken on the arms by Hall. See, I just think there's a smoother look about Hall's boxing, and over the 12-round distance, that's going to stand him in good stead. Power having to force the shots, wind them up, lunge with some of them. That takes so much more energy out the tank.
Telling words at the end of that third round that you gave us, Jim, when you questioned just how much it may have taken out of the tank of Martin Power. And certainly there's been a suggestion in this fourth that Hall has been the stronger, but Power still coming forward, and the judges sometimes impressed by aggression.
Well, I'm impressed by Hall's boxing in this round. He's got the pace back down where he can handle and control things. The jab's working, he's blocking most of these body shots. Power is looking busy, but not landing. Good work there.
Oh, dribbling back across the ring, and those are hurtful headshots. Referee having a close look just for a moment there, and another big right hand from Stuart Hall. And Power's in dangerous territory here, and he's got to hold on and try and buy time to get through to the end of this fourth round. Big attack from the champion, and Power bravely tries to come back. The seconds ticking down, and the bell cannot come a moment too soon. Big attack from Stuart Hall, but Martin Power rides out the storm just.
Give me the extra. Give me the extra.
Took some massive shots there.
Give me the drink, give me the water, please.
Now there's panic in the corner, that's knocked so much out of Martin Power. Those were no punches, and they were non-stop. His head was being rolled around. If it wasn't for his reputation for toughness, I think the referee would have stepped in 2 or 3 times in that round. But we know how tough he is, we know he can come back, and then just when you think he was out of it, he come back with some punches. No purchase in the shots because he was being bullied. But terrible round to have to come back from. Don't know if Martin Power at this stage in his career can do that.
10 seconds.
That really was a tremendous round for Stuart Hall.
Well, Hall boxed his way first in that round, bossed his way through boxing skills, and then in that last 15-20 seconds, well, everything but the kitchen sink came in Martin Power's direction. And now, can the little man from Camden Town somehow dig deep and battle his way back into this once more? Had a good third round, but an awful fourth.
See, he's having to lunge and force his boxing Power. But we know he will do that. But it really takes so much out of you. Look at the kind of smooth look about Stuart Hall's boxing, just looking at the target, pinning the punches there.
And forcing him back now every time he connects. Power is starting to look, dare I say, it's a little bit shot-worn in there. And he's taking a lot.
Well, Martin Power was never the most difficult to catch with punches, even in his heyday. So obviously at 30 hard career he slows down a little bit, but he's been caught flush again.
Both of them 30 years old. In boxing terms though, unquestionably Power the older man. Now, you talked about the big onslaught from Power, which took a lot out of him in that third round. How much has it taken out of Hall, the big attack in the closing seconds of the fourth? Can he sustain it?
But if Power can come back at Hall again, can he break another heart? No signs of it at the moment. Hall looking really in the driving seat, looking confident.
It's genuine sharpness of punch from both flanks to Stuart Hall, and here he is trying to boss Power back again. Power forced to cover up, but look at this for sheer bravery from Power as he tries to work off the ropes. Referee won't want to see him take too much. He's keeping a close look on it, but he's still firing back, Martin Power, and that's what the ref wants to see.
This is a real mature performance from Stuart Hall. This is tremendous. Even while he's pouring out the punches, his chin's down, his defences are up. Really quality boxing from him.
Seems inconceivable to me that this one's going to go 12 rounds at this sort of pace. Fans are loving Stuart Hall's performance.
Every punch from Power looks like a massive effort, as though he's drawing it from his boots. But Hall still looking in control, still looking really confident.
Few seconds again, here comes Hall.
And Hall is able to come through Power's punches now. What more can he have to offer?
He's taking a lot, Martin Power.